Hey guys, Todd here. Today we're going to install the DS-Series steps from APS on this 2021 and up body style F-150 Super Crew. Tools I'll be using for this installation are a ratchet with a 13mm socket. I'll also be using a 17 and 16mm ratcheting wrench. Now make sure you're subscribed to our channel to keep up to date with our latest content. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are underneath the driver's side of the truck at the front, just behind the driver's side front tire. This is our rocker panel. If you come back on the rocker panel, you're gonna notice we got 3 studs coming out of the rocker panel. These are factory installed studs. This is our first bracket location. Now, if your studs are covered with paint, you'll want to remove that paint before you go any farther. Don't try to force hardware over top of painted studs. So if you use something like an aggressive wire brush, something like that, get the paint off of there first, because otherwise you run the risk of snapping that loose where it goes through, and that is not a fun repair. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take first these plastic isolators, slide them over top of all 3 of the studs. And here is our bracket. Now the bracket's got 4 holes in it. Obviously we've got 3 studs, so we're only going to use 3. All brackets are exactly the same. Now you're going to notice that this can slide back and forth a little bit. That's for adjustment. So what we're going to do next is going to put the hardware. We've got some washers and some nylock nuts we're going to put onto these. But we're not going to tighten them down all the way just yet, because we want to be able to adjust it after the board is set in place. Now the hardware we're using is the smaller diameter hardware. So we've got a 8 mm nut and 8mm washer. All right, we're going to do all 3 brackets the exact same way. All right, let's go ahead and grab the running board and set up to the brackets. All right, so next what we're going to do is lift up our running board. You'll notice we've got some tabs hanging off the running board. Those are going to line up to the brackets. In our hardware, we're also going to have some larger bolts with some larger diameter washers. We're going to put a bolt with washer on one side, go through the hole, and then on the other side do another washer with a nylock nut. We're going to do that 2 bolts with washers and nylock nuts on each one of these brackets. Work our way all the way back to the back. Now we are not going to tighten these up until everything is started and lined up. And for the last bracket, same thing. All right, next what we're going to do is go ahead and tighten down the board to the bracket. We're not going to get it tightened all the way. We're just going to get nice and snug because we still will need to adjust the pitch of the board. Once we have snugged up the board to the bracket and pull the bracket together to the board, then we can go up and tighten down the bracket. Now the way we're going to do this is we're going to use a 16 millimeter on the bolt side and 17 millimeter on the nut side. Once we've got those snugged up on all 3, then we'll go up and use a 13 millimeter to tighten down all 3 of these bolts. All right, now that the brackets are all tightened down to the truck, we can go ahead and rotate the board to where it's nice and level and tighten the brackets to the boards. Well, that concludes the installation. If you found this video helpful, make sure and give us a thumbs up. If you want to know more about the product, check the link in the description below. And as always, if you have any questions, call the experts or visit us online at RealTruck.com.